I am back. Sorry I have been away for probably like a week. We had a little flu, just like a head cold, and so we're feeling much better right now. And I want to show you guys how to make Russian traditional soup. Let's see, it's a beet soup with like beef and vegetables. So yeah, I'm gonna showing you guys all the ingredients and like a step-by-step instructions. So there you go. So for that, you guys need meat. I'll be taking off like the fat pieces and I'll be chopping it, but this is cooked. I prepared it ahead of time. I prepared it yesterday so that it is easier for me to make it today, because it takes like about an hour to cook, and then you have to wait until it cools off, and then you have to like I said, chop it and things like that. So I just cooked it yesterday, and today all I have to do is just put it all together. Not so hard. Then we need cabbage, parsley. We need tomato sauce. I have 2 cans here, but you don't need 2 cans. Depending on how big your pot is. I'll be using like 1 and maybe a quarter, or 1 can and 1/3 of the other can. So let's see. And this is the size of my pot. Let's see if I can tell you how big it is, so you guys can have an idea. It's 7 quarts, 6.6 liters. So 6.5 liters or 7 quarts. Then you need a beet. This is see my hand? It's basically a good size beet. Let's see, an onion. I have a nice giant onion here, 2 carrots, and 2 sticks of celery. And I think that's it. Let me see. I do need to pull my broth out. I pulled it out yesterday from the freezer. It's still frozen. Look at that. Still frozen. But it is chicken broth. It's homemade chicken broth. And you know what makes a really delicious soup? The broth. The broth is what makes a really good soup. It's the base. It's basically the base of the soup. I just want to guys show you something. When you guys are cutting an onion, leave the bottom still attached, so that when you're cutting, it's all attached. You just cut through like that. That's what I just did. Cut through, then you turn, and it's still all attached here. And then it's a lot easier to chop this way, because it won't be falling apart. It won't be sliding all over the place. It'll be, yeah, it's a lot easier to chop this way. And it doesn't make you cry as much. I don't know why, but when you cut this little bottom off, it makes you cry. So yeah, that's just the way I've learned to cut the onion from some chefs online, and I think it's a wonderful technique. See what I mean? They're all nicely attached. It's a piece of cake to cut it, so yeah. Okay, this is what I did so far. I chopped the onion, I shredded the carrots, and I put them on a pan to fry. You can use butter, you can use, I would say butter. Not margarine, that stuff is synthetic, processed crap. You want to use something natural like olive oil, but olive oil, it's a very delicate oil. You don't want to fry on it because it kind of goes rancid. It oxidizes and it kind of turns to trans fat. You don't want that. It's perfect for salads. It releases all the vitamins and nutrients out of vegetables. So olive oil is fantastic in salads, but not so good when you want to fry on it. So the best oil for me would be butter, or fat, I should say. The best fat to fry on is butter. And then you could also use expeller pressed coconut oil. It has like no fragrance and no flavor, so this way you can cook savory dishes and not have that like a dessert kind of tropical coconutty smell and flavor. So I don't know, that's how it goes in my family. That my husband doesn't like coconut flavor in like savory dishes. So yeah. Okay, this is what I did so far. the onions and the carrots are sauteing here. So you just saute until the onions become translucent, and that'll be enough. You don't want them burning at all. And in the pot here, I put, let's turn on the oven. Let's turn on the stove. I have the broth here, and you can see the little icicles in there. I did not defrost all the way overnight. Here, I have, I just sliced the celery. I normally would have cut it lengthwise, so to make like smaller pieces, but I kind of spaced out. So I just sliced it, so you see, they're like kind of like, you know, like whole sliced pieces. But yeah, you do that, and then when the onions are done sauteing, you put them in a pot, and then I will put the celery in just to get it softened up, and that is not necessary. You don't have to saute them at all, but I think it releases a lot, some like more fragrance. So I would do that just a little bit, like maybe for 5 minutes and stuff, and then after that we'll be doing the beet. And while this is sauteing right now, I will be working on the meat. I will be taking care of this meat, getting all the fat pieces off and slicing it into nice little slices or little cubes. So yeah, see ya. Okay, guess what ingredient I have completely left out? That's potatoes. You need potatoes. Oh boy. Let's see. I use red potatoes. That is what we like here. They have a little bit less starch in them, and I use them all the time. About 7 potatoes. So I might need a little bit more because I have like a bigger pot, so I'm guessing maybe a couple more because they're not very big. If they are big potatoes, then yes, you could probably get away with less. I just put my sauteed onion and carrots right into the pot, into the broth. I am boiling some water so that I could add more to the pot. And now I will be putting celery into the pan, into the same pan, and sauteing them for probably like 5-7 minutes just to bring out the flavor. And yeah, let's see. I chopped up all the meat, and here's my peeled potatoes. I gotta finish all these little teeny dots, and then I will be chopping them, putting them into the water, and I'll show you the rest. And then just cube it. That's it. Very easy. And here is my celery. It's starting to brown just a little, and it smells so good. Oh my goodness. There you go. I think we're done. We're gonna turn off the stove, and my water for the borscht is almost done, so that's good. Let's finish cutting the potatoes. Do you guys see the celery? I just added celery and I added water to the pot. Make sure that you leave space in the pot because you'll be adding some tomato sauce. And then you're adding a bulk of potatoes, and then the meat, and then the cabbage. So you need a little bit of room. You can always add a little bit more at the end if that is what you want. Right now I'll be putting in the potatoes into the pot, and after that I'll be adding meat, and I'll be preparing cabbage. I'll be cutting up the cabbage, and basically I am waiting for the potatoes to cook before I add the tomato sauce, because the tomato sauce will prevent potatoes from getting soft. Somehow it just keeps them kind of like firm. So I want them to be soft, cooked thoroughly. So that is what I'm going to be waiting for. So while the potatoes are cooking and the meat is absorbing all the juices from the broth and the flavor, I will be chopping up the cabbage. And let's see, I'll be adding some salt, pink salt. Not every salt is created equal. You don't want regular iodized salt. Not at all. That stuff is processed, bleached, and all the minerals have been removed. So you want either like pure sea salt, which is better than the regular kind of processed salt. but definitely not my favorite. I just keep it if I have to like use like a lot of it and I have to use it like fast. Like for example, like I'm making this soup right now, I would use that salt. But right now I want to show you guys this salt. That is what I would use for everything else, salads, eggs, whatever. So it's pink Himalayan salt, and it has because of the color, it indicates that there are minerals. There's lots of minerals, and actually it's a lot better for people that have high blood pressure because it has all those minerals in there. Somehow the body accepts it differently and processes it differently. So you want good salt, not cheap salt. So let's see, we'll need some salt, and I do pepper. I like pepper in borscht, so that is what I do. And then parsley, so sometimes I even add dill at the end, or when you're serving it, you can add a little bit of dill with sour cream. That's just basically your option. But right today, I'll be using parsley. And look, it's rumbling. Probably need to reduce it. Well, actually, no, not yet. I have to put the potatoes in, and then wait for it to boil, and then I'll reduce the heat a little bit. So let me do that. I almost forgot. My shredder was standing over the beet, so I didn't even see it. But anyways, I want to show you what is next before the cabbage. So while the potatoes are cooking, I am going to shred the raw beet. It's peeled, and I'm shredding it, and then I will saute it very gently, just like the onions, until it becomes not translucent obviously, but when it becomes tender, like very nice and tender. So here are my beets. They're nicely sauteing. My potatoes are happily cooking, and here's my chopped cabbage. Some people prefer to chop their vegetables for borscht like coarsely, like my mom. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on a second, okay? And I like to actually chop everything like smaller. I don't know, just a preference, but it doesn't matter how you do it. It's whatever you like. And everybody, each family, each cook makes their borscht a little bit different. There's like, I don't know, it has like similar ingredients. Always a beets, always broth, or liquid water, whatever. Always meat. Well, no, it's not always. It could be vegetarian too. Just omit the meat, and there it goes. Potatoes usually go in borscht, so there are some ingredients that are always there, and some that are like optional. Like celery, it doesn't have to be there, but it's optional. Some people add bell pepper. They prefer bell peppers. I like bell peppers, but my husband seems to prefer borscht without the bell pepper, so I make it without. So yeah, it always has like onion and carrots. So, but each cook, as with everything else, like everything they make, there's like, they have their own touch to it, like their own, they use their own spices, like just a little different variation. So this is the way I make it. These are like step-by-step instructions of exactly how I make, and it takes about an hour. I should probably say more. Maybe it's taking me a little bit longer because I'm tending to kids a little bit here and there. My husband takes over here and there too, but and I also have to like do the vlog, so maybe today it's taking a little bit longer, but normally it does take at least an hour, and that's not including cooking time for the meat. So you gotta cook the meat, and then it takes an hour. So, but it's so worth it. It is so delicious, so fragrant. I wish I could like record the smell of this soup, but yeah, it smells delicious, and it's definitely really good. So I make a bigger pot, not like soup you can make in a smaller pot because it's not as time consuming to make. So I make it in a bigger pot because it goes so fast. We love it. My husband swears that my borscht is the best. And I think it probably is because I use homemade broth, which, like I said, is the base of any soup you make, and organic ingredients. Yeah, so if you are able to get organic, do it. It is so much better for you. You're avoiding so many toxins and pesticides and herbicides and all that, and it's definitely higher in nutrition. So go with organic as much as you can. Yeah, I don't always use organic everything, but I do try. Like if I see a great deal on something, like a great price, like at Costco for salad greens and it's organic, definitely gonna go with that. So yeah, just do the best you can and your body will thank you. So I am still sauteing these beets. Check this out. Still sauteing, still cooking potatoes, and cabbage is waiting, and my parsley is waiting too. So parsley will be the very last thing I put along with pepper, and I already added salt. I added the pink Himalayan salt. So yeah, see ya. My baby needs me. Here's another thing that I just remembered. You can, if you want it a little spicy, you can add some like a hot pepper or whatever. I add cayenne. That's what I go with. I sprinkle a little bit of cayenne right into the pot, just a little bit, to give it that a little hint of spiciness. You don't want it overly spicy to take over all the flavor, but yeah. Sun is going down? Yes, baby, sun is going down. The sun is going down. Alrighty, so I put my beets in. Look at how red it is. Look at that. So the potatoes are cooked. I am adding some tomato sauce. And I think I might just stick with one can today. I don't know. One can sounds just right to me today. I don't know. I'm gonna check the salt and pepper, see how much, if there's enough pepper and enough salt, and then I will be adding cabbage. And I chopped garlic, so I chopped up my garlic, and we're almost done. This is what it looks like right now. The salt content is wonderful, just perfect. I added the cabbage, the tomato sauce, and basically now the cabbage cooks really, really fast. So it doesn't need like much cooking time. And now I just chopped up my my parsley. Gosh, I forgot the name. So I put the parsley, I chopped the parsley. I will be putting that in. That will be the very last thing that I put in. And I am done. I am so done. Good, good, good. And now I gotta go probably sit down, maybe rest my feet for 5 minutes, and then we gotta get out of the house. And when we come back, that is when we're gonna be eating. And I'll probably show you guys what the bowl looks like with a little bit of dill and sour cream. Heavenly. I might even eat a little bowl now. I don't know what to do. It's very tempting. Okay. Okay, you guys. I can't wait to come back home and then eat. So we're gonna eat a little bit now. Look at this. That's what it looks like. All in a bowl. Beautiful and red. Full of goodness and sour cream and dill. I'm gonna mix that in with a spoon and I'm gonna eat that. So thank you guys for watching. It's not a cooking channel, but I wanted to share how to make it just in case some of you guys would be interested. That is how myself and I make it. So thanks for watching. Bye.